In 1703, the United States made one of the most significant land deals in history, an acquisition that doubled its size overnight and reshaped the future of the nation. This is the incredible and unexpected story of the Louisiana Purchase, a transaction that changed American history forever. It was a deal that would not only expand American borders, but also redefine its ambitions, economy, and role on the world stage. At the turn of the 19th century, the United States was a young and ambitious country, eager to expand beyond the original 13 states. With a rapidly growing population and new economic opportunities, settlers were pushing westward in search of land. But standing in their way was a massive, largely unexplored territory controlled by France, Louisiana, stretching from the Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains. This land held the key to America's future, but it was not yet within their grasp. To secure it, the U.S. had to navigate diplomatic and military challenges. Across the Atlantic, France was led by the ambitious and strategic Napoleon Bonaparte, a man determined to expand his empire. He had dreams of rebuilding France's North American holdings, using the Louisiana Territory as a base for expansion. However, two major issues stood in his way. First, France was locked in a costly war with Britain, draining resources and soldiers. Second, a successful slave revolt in Saint-Domingue, modern-day Haiti, weakened his control in the Caribbean. Without control over the Caribbean, maintaining a vast North American empire became increasingly unrealistic and costly for France's struggling economy. Meanwhile, in the United States, President Thomas Jefferson envisioned a future where the young nation expanded westward into fertile, unclaimed lands. He firmly believed in an empire of liberty, a country where small farmers and settlers could thrive, free from European influence. The Mississippi River was vital for trade, serving as the lifeline for farmers shipping goods to market. However, with New Orleans under French control, Americans feared losing access to this crucial trade route. If France decided to cut off their rights, economic disaster could follow. Jefferson knew action was necessary, as the nation's prosperity depended on it. Concerned that France might block American access to the Mississippi River, President Jefferson decided to act quickly. He sent diplomats James Monroe and Robert Livingston to Paris in 1803 with a clear mission: to negotiate the purchase of New Orleans and nearby lands. Their initial offer was $10 million, enough to secure essential access for trade. However, Monroe and Livingston had no idea what awaited them. Their task seemed straightforward, but international politics and Napoleon's changing circumstances would soon transform the deal into something far greater than expected. They were about to face an unprecedented diplomatic opportunity that no one had foreseen. When Monroe and Livingston arrived in Paris, they expected tough negotiations over New Orleans. Instead, Napoleon made a surprising and unexpected counteroffer. Rather than just selling New Orleans, he was willing to sell the entire Louisiana Territory, an area covering 828,000 square miles. The price? Just $15 million. Napoleon had decided he needed to focus on Europe, and America's offer gave him quick cash. The American diplomats were stunned. Was this too good to be true? Could they accept such an enormous and unforeseen opportunity without consulting Congress? It was a once-in-a-lifetime chance to reshape the future of the United States. After some rapid and intense negotiations, the Louisiana Purchase was finalized on April 30th, 1803. With a single transaction, the United States doubled in size. The land was sold at an incredibly low cost, about 4 cents per acre. This was an unprecedented expansion of U.S. territory, and the deal was completed quickly. The treaty was sent to the U.S. Senate for approval, and despite some opposition, it passed. Jefferson himself had constitutional concerns, but he recognized the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The Louisiana Territory now officially belonged to the United States, and history had been forever changed. News of the Louisiana Purchase spread quickly across the country, and reactions were mixed. Many Americans celebrated, seeing it as a massive victory for the nation. It promised new farmland, resources, and opportunities for expansion. But not everyone was convinced. Some Federalists argued that the purchase was unconstitutional because the Constitution did not explicitly allow for land acquisition. Others feared it would be difficult to govern such a vast, undeveloped territory. Despite the skepticism, Jefferson defended the purchase, believing it would secure America's future prosperity and stability in a rapidly changing world filled with uncertainties and competition. With so much new land acquired, President Jefferson wasted no time in exploring it. He commissioned the famous Lewis and Clark expedition to map the newly purchased territory and gather valuable information. Led by Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, the team set off in 1804 to document the land, its resources, and its indigenous inhabitants. Along the way, they encountered Native American tribes, discovered unknown plants and animals, and mapped rivers. The journey, lasting more than 2 years, helped the U.S. understand the vast new frontier and plan for future expansion. It was the beginning of America's westward journey into the unknown wilderness. The Louisiana Purchase changed the course of American history in profound ways. It opened up millions of acres for settlement, agriculture, and trade, fueling economic expansion. Over the next decades, pioneers and settlers moved westward, seeking new opportunities and fertile farmland. The Purchase also shifted the balance of power in North America, reducing European influence and solidifying the United States' place as a rising power. Over time, 15 states would emerge from this vast territory. Without the Louisiana Purchase, America's westward expansion, and even its identity, might have been drastically different, altering the course of history as we know it today. Looking back, the Louisiana Purchase remains one of the greatest land deals in history. It set the stage for westward expansion, economic growth, and the emergence of the U.S. as a dominant power. It also raised new questions about governance, slavery, and indigenous land rights. But one thing is clear: without this bold move, the United States would not be what it is today. A single decision, a stroke of a pen, and a surprising offer from Napoleon forever changed the map and the destiny of a nation, shaping the future in ways no one could have predicted. Our channel is just starting out, and every new subscriber is a building block in its foundation. Please subscribe and hit the bell to motivate us to create more videos.